Welcome to the Dropship.com podcast. Today, we're bringing you more e-commerce insights, dropshipping strategies, and all the inspiration you need to grow your business. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, this podcast is your one-stop shop for success. Ready to roll? Here are your hosts, Ava and Noah.
Hey everyone, welcome back. You know I love a good underdog story, and today we're diving into one that's, pretty incredible. It's the story of Davy Fogarty and the Oodie.
Oh yeah, the Oodie.
You know those super comfy, oversized blanket hoodies you see everywhere?
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen those all over the place.
Well, Davy built this company, the Oodie, into a $500 million empire. And you want to know the crazy part? He started with just $500.
Really? Wow. Just $500. That's wild.
Yeah, right? How is that even possible? That's what we're going to find out today. We're basing this deep dive on a really interesting article from the Dropship.com newsletter, and it's called, get this, $500 Oodie Blanket Empire, a deep dive into Davy Fogarty's inspiring story. Get you right.
So yeah, that's a good one. So starting with $500 and turning it into $500 million, that's some serious business savvy.
Seriously. But Davy's journey wasn't all smooth sailing. In fact, he actually faced a ton of self-doubt early on.
Yeah, it's true. He really struggled with self-confidence. It sounds like school was kind of rough for him, got labeled a failure, and that kind of stuck with him for a while. It's amazing how those early experiences can really shape us, huh?
Oh, for sure. But it sounds like he had a major turning point when he saw those old Nike commercials, the ones all about pushing limits and defying the odds.
Those are classics.
Total classics. And for Davy, they really sparked something in him. He suddenly realized he could rewrite his own story, you know?
It's so true how a simple thing like a commercial or even a conversation can completely change your perspective. And for Davy, it sounds like that's exactly what happened. It pushed him to start working on himself.
That's amazing. So what? He immediately quit his job and started a business?
Well, not exactly. He actually started small, really small. Took on some minimum wage jobs just to get experience, hired tutors to, help him learn, and he even started going to the gym to kind of boost his confidence.
Oh, that's interesting. He was taking action to improve himself, but not making these huge, drastic changes. He was just, being consistent and working on himself a little bit every day.
Exactly. It's all about those small steps, right?
Yeah.
None of us can just completely transform ourselves overnight. It's a process, a journey, and it sounds like Davy really embraced that. And, it makes you think about his later success with Oodie. It's like maybe those early jobs and experiences actually helped him, develop a strong work ethic, or maybe even gave him some insights into, customer service or something.
That's a good point. It's all those seemingly random things he was doing were actually little pieces of the puzzle that eventually came together to create the Oodie. It's Davy wasn't just sitting around waiting for inspiration to strike. He was out there in the world, gaining experience, trying new things, and building a foundation for something bigger.
Totally. And, Davy's journey wasn't just about self-improvement. He also had this, entrepreneurial spirit right from the start. He tried so many different things.
Oh, yeah, what?
He was a personal trainer for a bit. Then he got into flipping Instagram accounts. He even tried opening a Vietnamese roll franchise.
Whoa, Vietnamese rolls. Talk about a change of pace.
Right.
From personal training to selling food.
Right. It's he wasn't afraid to experiment, to try things outside of his comfort zone. And, some of these ventures were actually really successful.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He actually made some pretty good money flipping Instagram accounts. It's crazy what people will pay for a popular account.
That's wild. But what about that Vietnamese roll franchise?
Well, that one didn't quite go as planned.
Oh, I'm sensing a but coming.
Yeah. And he also fell victim to this pretty nasty Instagram scam, lost $40,000. Can you imagine?
Ouch, $40,000. That's got to hurt, especially when you're just starting out. So how did he even recover from that?
He didn't just recover. He used it as fuel. Davy's got this amazing ability to take setbacks and turn them into opportunities for growth. He analyzed what went wrong, figured out how to avoid making the same mistakes again, and then just kept moving forward.
That's such a valuable skill to be able to bounce back from those tough moments. And it sounds like that Instagram scam really taught him the importance of due diligence, really doing your research and being cautious.
Right, and that's a lesson that served him well later on when he was building the Oodie. It's all connected. All these experiences, the good and the bad, they all contributed to his success.
It's those failures weren't really failures at all. They were lessons disguised as setbacks. So at this point, Davy's got all this experience under his belt. He's learned from his mistakes. He's more resilient than ever. So how does he go from all of that to launching a company called Calming Blankets, which I'm guessing is where the whole Oodie story really begins.
Okay, so he moved to Melbourne, which was like the e-commerce hub of Australia, and he's actively searching for a product idea. And then, boom, he stumbles across weighted blankets.
Weighted blankets, huh?
Yep, weighted blankets. And he realizes that, more and more people are looking for ways to relax and de-stress. And these blankets, well, they kind of tap into that need perfectly.
Okay, I see where he's going with this. So, did he just start making weighted blankets and selling them online?
Well, it's a little more nuanced than that. Remember, he's working with $500? So he had to be really smart about it.
Okay, yeah, that's not a lot of startup capital.
Right. So he used this strategy called pre-sales. Basically, he started taking orders for the blankets before he even had them made. That way he could use the money from the pre-orders to actually, buy the materials and manufacture the blankets.
Oh, that's smart. So he didn't have to risk a ton of his own money up front. He was using the customer's money to fund the initial production.
Exactly. It's a pretty common strategy for startups, especially when you're working with limited resources. But even with this clever plan, Davy still ran into some, let's say, unexpected challenges.
Oh, no. What happened?
There was this huge customs delay. 5 weeks. Can you imagine? You've got all these customers waiting for their blankets, and they're stuck in customs. It must have been so stressful.
I bet. So what did he do?
He did what any great entrepreneur would do. He communicated. He kept his customers informed about the delay, was totally transparent about what was going on, and he just kept working to resolve the issue. And you know what? His customers appreciated his honesty and his effort.
So even though there was this major hiccup, he managed to turn it into a positive experience for his customers. It's like sometimes those unexpected challenges can actually strengthen your relationship with your customers.
Absolutely. It's all about how you handle those situations. And in the end, you know what? Calming Blankets made a $1.5 million profit in its first year.
Wow. $1.5 million. Talk about turning lemons into lemonade. But okay, Calming Blankets is great and all, but we're here for the Oodie story.
Yeah.
So how does Davy go from weighted blankets to the global sensation that is the Oodie? That's what I'm really curious about.
That's where things get really interesting. We're talking about branding, marketing, and really understanding what customers want.
All right, let's dive into it. I want to hear all about how he took this one product and turned it into a cultural phenomenon.
Buckle up. It's a wild ride. All right, so we've got Davy. He's launched Calming Blankets, learned a ton from his early ventures, and now he's ready to really make his mark with the Oodie.
And what I find so fascinating is that he didn't just create another wearable blanket, right? There were already tons of those on the market.
Yeah, he could have easily gone down that route, just another Me Too product.
But he didn't. He saw something deeper. He understood this fundamental human need for comfort, for feeling safe and secure, and he tapped into that brilliantly with the Oodie.
He did. It's the Oodie isn't just a product, it's a feeling. It's like a warm hug you can wear.
Exactly. When you see their ads, you instantly get this sense of warmth, of coziness, even joy. And I think that's a huge part of their success. They're not just selling a blanket, they're selling a feeling.
And that all comes down to branding. Davy understood that from the beginning. He knew that to stand out in a crowded market, he needed to create a brand that resonated with people on an emotional level.
Yeah, it's not just about the features or benefits of the product itself. It's about the lifestyle it represents, the feelings it evokes. And I think that's something a lot of entrepreneurs miss. They get so caught up in the technical aspects of their product that they forget about the emotional connection.
Right, and that's where Davy really shines. He focused on creating a sense of community, of belonging, making the Oodie more than just a blanket, but a symbol of comfort and shared experience.
And it worked. I mean, the Oodie became a viral sensation. People were posting pictures of themselves all bundled up, looking ridiculously comfy. It was like a movement.
It was. It's a classic example of how a strong brand can drive organic growth. People weren't just buying a blanket. They were buying into a lifestyle, a feeling. And Davy was smart. He leveraged this momentum, constantly introducing new designs, expanding his product line, keeping things fresh and exciting.
So he didn't just rest on his laurels and watch the money roll in.
Not at all. He was constantly innovating, keeping the Oodie top of mind for his customers. You mentioned he expanded his product line. Did he just stick with blankets or did he branch out?
That's what I'm curious about.
He branched out. Weighted blankets, sleep masks, even matching Oodies for pets.
Oh my gosh, the pet Oodies, I've seen those. They're adorable.
That's so smart.
Yeah,
And
cool.
capitalizing on the brand's popularity, offering customers a whole range of products that fit into that same cozy, feel-good niche.
It's like he created an entire world of comfort, this whole ecosystem of the Oodie.
So he nailed the branding, he kept the momentum going. But what about the more, I don't know, technical aspects of the business, like marketing, production, all that stuff? Did he outsource everything, or was he more hands-on?
Okay, that's another really interesting part of Davey's story. He really believed in investing in himself, in learning new skills. So he actually taught himself a lot of the technical stuff.
Yeah, like Facebook ads. He became a master of Facebook advertising, figured out how to create really effective campaigns, and then videography, he learned how to shoot and edit his own videos.
Wow, so he wasn't just the creative visionary. He was also in the trenches, getting his hands dirty, figuring things out.
Absolutely. And I think that gave him a huge advantage. I mean, he was able to keep costs down by doing a lot of the work himself instead of hiring expensive agencies.
Right, so more control over his business, more flexibility, and probably a much deeper understanding of his target audience and what they respond to.
Exactly. And, you know, it wasn't like he just snapped his fingers and became an expert overnight. It took time, dedication, and a willingness to, make mistakes and learn from them.
It's like that growth mindset we were talking about earlier. He applied it to every aspect of his business.
Totally. And I think that's a huge takeaway from Davy's story. You don't need to have all the answers right away. You don't need to be a technical wizard. It's more about being resourceful, being willing to learn, and being persistent.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Davy's journey from self-doubt to building this amazing company, it's incredibly inspiring. But let's break this down for our listeners. Like, what are the key takeaways from Davy's success? What can we all learn from his experience?
We could definitely do that. Let's distill it down to a few key ingredients in Davy's success formula.
Perfect. So what's number one?
Okay, number one, start lean. Don't overcomplicate things, especially in the beginning. Focus on proving your concept, getting your product in front of customers, and generating revenue. Remember Davy's pre-sale strategy with calming blankets.
Oh yeah, brilliant. It's such a smart way to minimize risk, to validate your idea before investing a ton of money.
Exactly. So test the waters before you dive in head first.
Yeah.
And, speaking of learning from experience, the next key ingredient is all about embracing failure.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Look, every entrepreneur faces setbacks. It's inevitable. But it's how you respond to those setbacks that really matters. Davy's early ventures, both the successes and the failures, they all provided him with valuable insights. He learned from his mistakes, he adapted, and he kept moving forward.
So it's not about avoiding failure altogether. It's about viewing failure as feedback, as an opportunity to learn and improve.
Exactly. And, another crucial ingredient in Davy's success,
Oh, I think I know what you're going to say.
branding. Don't just create a product, create an experience, a feeling.
He nailed that with the Oodie.
He really did. He understood the power of connecting with his audience on an emotional level, and it's a big reason for the Oodie's phenomenal success. He created a brand that people wanted to be a part of, a brand that represented a lifestyle, a feeling of comfort and belonging.
It's about going beyond the product itself and tapping into something deeper, something that resonates with people on a more fundamental level.
Absolutely. And, the final key ingredient that really stands out to me, invest in yourself. Constantly seek to expand your skill set.
Like Davy did with Facebook ads and videography.
Exactly. He didn't just rely on others to do the technical stuff for him. He took the time to learn those skills himself, which gave him so much more control over his business. And that's something anyone can do. There's so many resources available today. Online courses, tutorials, you name it. If you're willing to put in the effort, you can learn almost anything.
It's all about taking ownership of your success, right? Not just waiting for opportunities to come your way, but actively seeking them out and equipping yourself with the skills and knowledge you need to make the most of those opportunities.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This has been so insightful. Davy's story is packed with valuable lessons for anyone, whether they're an aspiring entrepreneur or just looking to level up in their own field. But you know what? We're not quite done yet. We have one final thought to leave you with, something to really ponder as you go about your day. It's a question, actually, inspired by Davy's unconventional path to success.
Ooh, I love a good thought-provoking question.
Me too! But first, we need a quick refill on our metaphorical coffee mugs. We'll be right back with that final thought and the last part of our Davy Fogarty deep dive. Don't go anywhere. Okay. We're back, refreshed and ready to wrap up our deep dive into Davy Fogarty's incredible story. As promised, we have that final thought-provoking question for you.
All right, lay it on me.
So we've talked about Davy's early struggles, his diverse ventures, his unwavering determination, his commitment to learning. His path to success, it wasn't exactly traditional, was it?
No, not at all. He didn't come from wealth or have some groundbreaking invention.
Huh?
And he definitely didn't follow like a typical business school playbook.
He really forged his own path, and that's what makes his story so inspiring, right? It challenges that whole idea that you need specific circumstances or advantages to succeed.
It really does. Davy's story shows that it's about resourcefulness, adaptability, and being open to unexpected opportunities.
It's about connecting those seemingly unrelated dots, seeing potential where others might not. So here's the question, and it's a big one. What seemingly unrelated skill or experience that you have could be leveraged in your entrepreneurial journey?
Ooh, I like that. It's so easy to get caught up in thinking we need a specific degree or background to succeed in business. But Davy just blows that notion out of the water.
He took his experience with personal training, his knowledge of Instagram, his lessons from those failed ventures, and he wove it all together to create something amazing.
It's such a good reminder that our unique experiences, even the ones that seem totally unrelated to business, can be incredibly valuable.
Exactly. Maybe you're an amazing knitter, or you're great at organizing events, or you're, I don't know, a master gardener. Those might seem like hobbies, but they could actually be the seeds of your entrepreneurial success.
It's about looking at your skills and passions, your experiences, with fresh eyes. Like, how could you combine these seemingly unrelated elements to create something new and valuable?
Don't underestimate the power of your unique perspective. It could be your secret weapon. You never know. That hobby you've been pursuing for years could be the foundation for your next big idea.
That's so true. You got to explore those hidden talents, connect those dots, and just see what you can create.
That's what Davy did, and look where it got him. So there you have it, the inspiring story of Davy Fogarty and the Oodie. From self-doubt to a $500 million empire, his journey is a testament to the power of resilience, adaptability, and continuous learning.
Remember, success isn't a straight line. It's about embracing the detours, learning from those bumps in the road, and never giving up on your vision.
And who knows, maybe the key to your own entrepreneurial breakthrough is hidden in plain sight, tucked away in a skill or experience you never even considered, until now.
So go explore those hidden talents, connect those unexpected dots, and see what amazing things you can create.
That's it for our deep dive into Davy Fogarty and the Oodie. We hope you found it as inspiring as we did.
And don't forget to check out that full article on dropship.com. It's packed with even more insights and inspiration.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
That's it for today on the dropship.com podcast. We hope you got some value out of this episode. If you're looking to stay ahead in e-commerce and dropshipping, the dropship.com newsletter is where we dive deeper into the latest trends, news, and strategies. Delivered every Monday and Thursday. Don't miss it. Subscribe with the link below.